to the next lesson of I want to learn guitar. And so for this one, we're going to start looking at strumming patterns. So chords are important. Of course, you need chords to play songs. However, chords are easy. You'll pick them up. It's very easy to practice them. Whenever you run into a new one, you kind of wrestle with it for a little bit and then you have it again. I'm not too worried about you guys picking up new chords. Once you have G, D, E minor, C in the bag, figuring out the rest of the chords, that's just exploration. You find a song you want to learn, it has a chord that you don't know yet, so you learn the chord, you just look it up online, figure it out, and you got it. However, what I see happen a lot with people that I teach one-on-one is that if they're not practicing their strumming properly, they're going to have a very difficult time moving on from playing just chords and just strums to actually playing and singing songs. So you want to make sure you're practicing your strums properly. I'm going to be teaching a couple of strumming patterns today, and I'll have other videos where I literally just play that strumming pattern over and over again so you guys can practice along. But before I do, there's a couple base fundamentals about strumming that you guys should know. The first being your hand, and this is really important, your hand goes up and down at the same rate regardless of what strum you're doing. What that means is your hand is always evenly going up and down. It's never down and then you pause a little bit and then it goes up and down, or any sort of erratic motion like that. Even though strumming might sound like it's doing that, you shouldn't be doing that. So I'll just play a couple strumming patterns for you, and you'll see that what actually causes the pattern is not my hand moving up and down at different rates, but rather that my pick isn't always touching the strings. So here's one strumming pattern. Now I can do that same exact strumming pattern without actually touching the strings, and it just looks like this. Just over and over again, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, right? However, it's about when my pick touches the strings. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down. So if I slow it down a lot, you'll see sometimes I'll pass over the strings without playing. And this is true of all strumming patterns, for the most part, until you get into like the really fancy schmancy stuff. But for example, or like, or like, so with that in mind, when you practice your strums, please be sure that your hand is going up and down at the same rate. It's very common for me to see people who are early learners who don't do that. And for example, the first strum that I showed, it may sound the same, but they'll do something like, but fundamentally it's different because your brain is really thinking about when your entire arm is going up and down, rather than whether or not your fingers or your pick is touching the strings. And you'll find that makes a world of difference when you're actually playing the guitar and singing, for two reasons. One, it's just way easier to multitask once your muscle memory is down, where the only difference is just whether or not your pick is touching the strings. And then two, it's way easier to recover from a mistake, because if your hand is just going up and down at the beat, then even if you accidentally strum a little extra or you miss the strings one time, your strum still sounds fine. So just be sure you're doing that whenever you're learning whatever strumming pattern I'm about to teach. The second thing that you need to know when you practice is this is probably by far the hardest part of your guitar learning career. Whether or not that's a good thing, I guess that's up to you. To me, I think it's good. You know that this is the hardest part. Once you get past this hump, it's all easy pickings from there. super clean, just downhill, super, super nice. So just practice, practice, and don't be discouraged. You really just need to get the strumming pattern into your muscle memory to the point where you can sing and play chords and switch chords while you're strumming, right? So you'll find when you first start strumming, you might start feeling bored and you might think that you have it in your muscle memory, but the moment you try to include chords and switching chords and trying to sing and all that stuff, it all breaks down, right? And a lot of people feel discouraged by that, and they'll feel like, oh, I just can't play guitar, maybe guitar's just not for me, and that's just false. It's just that you haven't practiced that strum enough. So, you know, in my opinion, I don't think anyone can like not play guitar. I think it's really just, you know, anyone can play guitar, it's just, do you have the patience and the time, and are you putting in the effort to really practice that strumming in the beginning, right? Once you have that strum down, and you've got the chords that you need for whatever song, you just practice that and you should be fine. So just make sure that your hand is going up and down even rate, and that you practice so much, like so much. I cannot emphasize it. You need to practice so much you like want to vomit. And then afterwards, you know, great imagery after that, you'll be fine. So here's the first strumming pattern. I already showed it to you guys just before, but we'll go over it again. I'll just call this strum pattern 1. That's all it is. And you just repeat it over and over again. I find this strumming pattern is pretty useful for more upbeat, fast-paced songs. It's also good if you add, you know, you might find later on you find a song that has a bit of like swing to it. All you do is introduce swing to your swinging motions. So instead of going down, up, at a regular rate, you go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? And then you sort of get this. But it's still essentially the same strumming pattern. And you'll find a lot of songs when you play the strumming pattern, you just switch between repetitions. So. So that's one strumming pattern to learn. You don't have to learn this one first per se. I'll have later on some videos that you can follow just to practice whichever one you want to learn first. But this is an option. The second one that I'm going to teach is twice as long. So this one, if I counted off beats, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? However, this next one goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 8 beats instead of 4. And I guess I'll just show the strum pattern now. So this is, I would call this strum pattern 2. I use this for a couple of songs. Usually they're slow, but sometimes they're fast or upbeat. Yeah, and then I guess another strumming pattern. Here's a third one. So this one is down, up, down, down, up. There's plenty of other strumming patterns. I'll probably include other videos for other ones that I've come across, but these 3 are the ones that I use primarily. And then if I'm not really sure how to strum a song, I'll probably just do something basic like 1, 2, 3, 4. If there's anything just off the top of my head that I might use as a go-to. Down, 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 down. how much you need to practice these strums. Really, you can't tell if you're ready until you try to, like, you know, sing something while you're playing. For me, what I usually do with people one-on-one is I just tell them, we can't continue on to the next lesson until you can prove to me that you've mastered the strum. So you gotta practice it a lot, and the way we test it is we'll have a conversation while we're playing. You know, I'll just be like, how are you doing today? And they'll try to answer, and if they can't answer, then they're either focusing too hard on the strum, or they like mess up or something, and they're not ready. So you just gotta go back and practice more. This is the hardest part of picking up the guitar, so good luck. Know that you are not alone, and that it took quite a while for some people. You know, some other people pick it up quicker. It just depends on how fast you can get into your muscle memory. But believe me when I say anyone can do it. So best of luck, and I'll see you in the next lesson.